Good morning. Good morning, everybody. One moment, please. We are live. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Ooh, sorry for the hand. Yes, we haven't done one of these in a few weeks. So good morning, everybody. Give a few minutes for folks to join. Looks like we've got Glamper Jan. Good morning, Anthony. Hello. Armando. Hello. Good morning. Thanks for joining. It's been a few weeks. I think the last one was early in August. I would like to do more of these. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like these? So this is all about question and answer. I got a few topics to cover with folks. But if you have a question, this is really your forum, and it would be great to have you type in a question and then do my best to answer that. These do post right after our session. We're going to go for about an hour this morning, and maybe a little less depending on how many folks show, but this will go live, posted to YouTube right after we're done here. So, hey, Mark, good morning. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. And there's Mitzi. Good morning. And it is indeed morning. I am now in Pacific time zone. And let me tell you, one of the roughest things about van life is cruising through time zones. I was in Iowa, and then Montana, Idaho, and now in eastern Washington state. And crossing time zones in literally a matter of a week maybe is just kind of hard on the body. And let me tell you, 8 a.m. Central comes really early when you're on the Pacific time zone. Hey, Toe. Oh my gosh, from Singapore. He says, or she, sorry, says hello, good morning, and good night from Singapore. Toe, before you leave, what time is it in Singapore? What day is it in Singapore? And thank you for watching. This channel has so many people from overseas. It's just astounding to me. I just love that. Lucky King, hi. Welcome. So if you have something on your mind, questions, van, Winnebago, Volta, go ahead and type them in, and we will work really hard to get everybody's question answered. We got 17 awesome people. So Toe from Singapore says Saturday night, going to be 11 p.m. soon. So wow, you're like a day ahead. I guess not. Today is Saturday. You're definitely ahead. That's crazy. Well, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let me put you to sleep, Toe. Just keep it running. Yeah, where are you folks coming in from? I'd love to know that. So we got Singapore, we got Atlantic City. Good morning, Rod. Mays Landing, New Jersey. Hello. We'll kick off official program here in just a minute. So this is your lucky chance to get your question in here. So Anthony says, I'm transitioning to van life. My van is ordered. I plan to keep my day job initially. Do you experience this, or did you have your remote job in place? Thanks. That is really a great job. Great question, Anthony. I kind of test drove part-time van life from October to about December in 2018. I intentionally did not tell my employer that I was doing that until November, so that I had some really all of October under my belt that I could prove my job on the road and they would not notice. Basically, we are a very distributed company. We're then anyway. And then I had a chat with them in November of 2018 to go full time. Actually, I wasn't even going full time. That was my plan, was just to go part time, and for them, for their purposes. And again, they said we'll kind of test drive this, and and by January, I was ready to hit full time and got the approval to do so. So um, I ordered the van. Van took about 6 months. Ordered in June, arrived in October. Started creating videos during that time. I received the van, took some pretty big trips, and worked from the van. And then in February 2019, went full time in my van with my employer's approval. My CEO, though, his mandate was, I don't want to hear about missed work or meetings because you have no internet. That was his only mandate. Okay, we fixed that. So hopefully that helps. Um, and it's worked out great. I actually have. Are you ready for this? I actually have better internet connectivity than most of my colleagues that have been forced into work from home full time because they got really crummy, you know, Comcast service, the lowest speed. Because it's just the kids. I get my high speed at work, and it's pretty funny. Oftentimes they're having more um, internet issues than I am. Good question. Thank you, Anthony. Well, congratulations. Let us know what kind of van is ordered and what kind of job you do. So I'm kind of in partner. I'm the alliance manager, so I work with our partners. Apple's probably our biggest one we work with, and kind of do business development. That's kind of what I do from the road. In addition to YouTube and Go Small, Live Large, and I have two partners now, Volta and Embassy RV. So I'm a very busy boy. All right. Well, good morning. Well, thank you. So it's top of the hour, so we'll just kind of kick it off. Thank you, everybody. We got 28 awesome people on here. This is so great. Thank you for joining. In case you don't know me, that's would be kind of crazy if you don't. But my name's Scott. Welcome to Go Small, Live Large. We're a YouTube channel, as you know, dedicated to the RV and in particular Class B RV van life lifestyle. Um, I've been full time in this rig since February 2019, and my cat Luke, who may or may not show, he's in a bad mood this morning, has been with me now for 13 months, which is pretty awesome. My partner Kyle joins me occasionally, and in fact, he's going to be joining me next week, which I'm really excited about. So welcome. What we do here is we learn collectively. I learn as much from you folks as I do from just being in the road. I get all kinds of great, awesome tips and recommendations from the audience, and we collectively learn. We share through this medium, through my website, through YouTube videos, um, and for live events. We'll talk about that. If you go to my website, gosmalllivelarge.com, you'll see we got events planned. We've had some amazing events just in the recent couple weeks. We had a first time channel campout, which was held in Wallace, Idaho. Please Google Wallace, Idaho, historic mining town in the panhandle of Idaho. Silver was their ore of choice that they were mining. Super fun. We had and then a day event in Wallace as well. So the point there is, I like to do live events. Even in these times, I think it's actually even more critical to get together in small groups. Let's wear our facial coverings, but having personal interactions when those kind of things are really discouraged, we do them appropriately, but I really kind of encourage them because it's just a really good way to get to know each other and get questions answered and really accelerate your RV experience. So again, welcome. So go ahead and type your questions in. We're going to roll for about another 45 to 50 minutes today. Um, I have some planned comments, but this is mostly about you asking questions. So 40 folks, thank you for attending. Really appreciate that. If you get anything out of this at all, I would sure appreciate a thumb up. That helps others know you liked it, helps me know you liked it. We'll do more of these if you want. It helps YouTube direct this kind of content to other potential RVers. And yes, thank you, Armando. Let me know where you're coming in from. So Dublin, California, by San Francisco, good morning. Daytona Beach, Florida, good morning. A couple of people in Mays Landing. Are you kidding? That's crazy. Good morning. Um, so Mark has a good question on tires. So he says, I am curious about tire ratings for Class Bs. Not exactly sure what you mean, but these are light tire tucks. That didn't come out at all. Right. These are light truck tires. I think they're a 10 ply, but I'm running BF Goodrich K02s on my rig. That's the same all-terrain tire that Winnebago puts on the Revel and on the National Park Foundation Edition Travado, a mouthful. And I really am happy with these tires. I am so much happier with these than I am than the OEM tires. Mitzi's in Illinois. Um, Lucky King, yeah, my name's Scott. Welcome. Really appreciate you joining us. Mark says, I have not researched it yet, but wonder what about upgrading from E to F rated tires. I would have to go out and look at these. You clearly know way more than I do. Um, if you just Google BF Goodrich K02 all-terrain tires, you can probably see real quick what I have on my rig and what rating those are. Good morning from Louisiana. I love Louisiana. In fact, Kyle's right there in New Orleans right now. He's coming to join me in the Spokane area where I am currently. From NOLA, we love New Orleans. One of the greatest experiences was van camping in the French Quarter in New Orleans. Queens, New York. Wow. Flipping to St. Augustine. Oh my gosh. Have you been to James? Good morning. Have you been to St. Augustine? Oh, there's Luke. If you haven't been to St. Augustine, you're gonna love it, I think. What's up, sir? Oh my goodness. Okay. It's just one of my best and earliest full-time RVing experiences. I'd never been, and to me, it's like walking back in time in Europe. It's just amazing. America's oldest city, actually, is St. Augustine, Florida, or established in the 1600s, I think. And actually street camped for 4 nights, 3 nights in the Walmart and one in the Cracker Barrel. There, it was crazy. The Ohio, heading to Arizona. Glamper Jan, yes. It's still pretty hot in Arizona, so make sure your AC is functioning correctly. I think I saw today it was going to be 110 in Phoenix today. Holy cow. Good morning. So Anthony, it says he's in healthcare, thinking about traveling and also doing teaching online. My current employer knows of my transition, Winnebago Rebel. Wow, you're going to love your Rebel. If you haven't seen that video, we did a Rebel versus the Travado, and it was a really popular video. On our good friend and audience angel Tab walked us through his Rebel, and then I kind of compared the Travado and the Rebel. So I think you're really going to love your Rebel if you like to get offline. And healthcare workers, man, if you're like a floating nurse or something of that nature, there's what a great time to do that, right? So congratulations. Good afternoon from London, England. Holy cow, Johnny Rotten. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining. That's amazing. London. I've been to London a couple of years ago. Just what a great town. So much history in that town. Um, so Glamper Jan's in her Class B Coachman Beyond. Ooh, 22C. Glamper Jan, please tell us how you're enjoying that. I've only been in those at RV shows and done a few, videos on them, but let us know how your experience is going. You loving the floor plan? Are you loving the quality? I'm not sure if yours is lithium ion equipped or not, but let us know how you're enjoying that van. Clearly, Class B in general, you're probably thrilled with that, right? Hey, Gary, good morning. Thank you. Gary says Lily is awesome. Lily's the name of my Travado. This is a 2019 Winnebago Travado GL. G is the floor plan. I have the Murphy bed and the huge bath. Um, and the Murphy bed is a 4x6, almost full-size bed. And the area mine right here, the great room, as I call it, can also collapse into a bed. And the GL, L is for lithium. I got a Volta lithium ion system. You guys can see the Volta's there. I love my Volta system. Um, and thanks. Yeah, I personalize it inside and out. Obviously, I wrapped my van. That's why it looks different than any other Travado on Earth. It is not a paint job. It's actually a large sticker, if you will. Kyle likes to call it my $5,000 sticker. And if you haven't seen that video, be sure and check that out. It was amazing. My van used to be silver, and I'm so glad it's not anymore. Um, it just really fits into the environment better. It blends in. It doesn't stick out, and it's really nice. It doesn't look like anybody else's Travado. In fact, we had when we had the channel camp out, we had 4 Travados. Two of them were National Park Foundation Edition Travados, KLs, and it looked exactly alike from the outside. It looked like it's pretty funny. Mine stuck out or blended in, depending on how you went. It didn't look like a Travado. It was great. Hello from Ohio. Deb, welcome. Good morning. Mark says 10 ply is E or higher, so still talking about tires. So thank you, Mark. I think that's kind of a light truck tire designation, right? I might be wrong on that. Anthony Fort Myers, thank you. New Orleans is a fun place. Um, So Glamper Jan wants to know, have you used your Truma combi for furnace? Yes, all the time. In fact, it was pretty chilly in Idaho. Got down to about 52 at night. So if I'm plugging in, I use electric mode just because I got, why use propane? Unless it gets chilly, like pretty cold, I'd say below 50 into the 40s, the propane is considerably hotter than the electric elements. So I would move my Truma to a propane mode and get much warmer heat out of the system. And Glamperjan says, I've only used it for hot water, um, which it makes wonderful hot water. It takes about 15 minutes to warm up to 140 degrees. It's pretty crazy. And the nice thing about the Truma Combi, as you probably know, is it runs into really three modes: propane only, electric only, or both propane and electric, which they call mix. On the electric, um, there's two elements. So just imagine a big hair dryer, element one, element two, or combined. Well, then they'd be combined. But I actually have found that the electric heat is not only less efficient from putting out hot air, but it drains the lithium ion system actually faster than using an air conditioner. So um, I use propane when I'm making heat, unless I'm plugged in and it's not that cold. Um, Cynthia, no, where is Luke? Luke is outside the van. I'm actually parked in my parents' driveway. We have 44 people joining. That is so awesome. Yeah, give us a thumbs up if you got up early or you're shirking your household duties to tune in today. Give us a thumbs up. Appreciate that. But Luke, we actually have a video about Luke and RVing with a cat. I'm hoping to post today, so stay tuned for that. You guys have been asking for that for a long time. Beg your patience. Thank you. You'll be seeing Van Life Luke a lot today. He's just the greatest cat. He was a hit in Wallace, let me tell you. All the dogs loved him. All the people walking by loved him. Hashtag Van Life Luke. So good morning, Cynthia. Thank you. Marcy, good morning from Iowa. I just came out of um, Burlington, Iowa. That's the headquarters of Weingard. We did a great interview with them. That's video is going to be coming up soon. Let me know, Marcy, if you're near Burlington, Iowa. I actually took the um, the van down. Was it Snake Alley? It's this really crooked street. It's just like that famous crooked street in San Francisco. Wait to see that video. It's so much fun. I couldn't believe I got that van down this super narrow, twisty. Um, it's literally called Snake Alley. That's the name of the street. Ripley's Believe It or Not has a plaque there. 46 people. Thank you. Florida Keys. Kathy, that is heaven on earth right there. If I could be anywhere on earth, it would probably, like full time, forever, probably be Florida Keys. Love the Florida Keys. Um, I'd have to have a place in Texas, though. Anthony asks, yeah, go ahead and type your questions in. I'm pretty much keeping up with you guys. So this is a gal, so this is great. Go ahead and type your questions in. Van life, work from the road. What's it like, roaming around in current conditions? Any RV system, I'll do my best to answer them. RVing with a cat, just go ahead and load those into the chat here. And thank you again for joining. So Anthony asks, are manufacturers back up to speed? Demand is soaring, and so are prices. They are all back up to speed as far as I know. Certainly Winnebago, they turned back on pretty early-ish in May, I think it was. Embassy RV is running at full speed, and yeah, demand is off the charts. Every RV dealer I talk with, they have no. Their biggest complaint right now is they have no product. And if you walked in with $120,000 cash, you wanted to buy a Travado, yeah, they'll take your money, they'll take your order, but you're probably getting your van in probably January or February at this point. It's about a 6-month delay. Who knew, right? That this would be the case. Pretty crazy. Yeah, demand is just crazy for all kinds of RVs, but I think Class Bs in particular. So thank you, Anthony, for that question. But you know what? Back on, time flies by really fast, and me and Kyle did a ton of. I did in particular a ton of research, over 300 hours. Made some early videos about that. Placed the order, and then patiently waited for 6 months. It actually went pretty quick. And every month you delay is one more month delay out. I don't see this demand waning anytime soon. It might when the winter comes, but yeah, rigs on the lot with configured as you like. Probably not a lot of them sitting out there. RV Trader is a good source I found. Um, Hi, Cynthia. So Cynthia wants to know, which cookware are you using? Okay, this is kind of funny. I actually bought a bunch of cookware and I got rid of all of it. I donated it because I discovered it just took a huge amount of room, and I literally have a single saute pan, small, I think it's 9 inch, and I use the metal pot for my Instapot. I think I have the 2-quart version, the smallest one. That's all I use for cookware. I do most of my cooking, if you will, um, on my grill. So I use my propane portable grill all the time. Love my charbroil propane grill, and so that and my one saute pan and my one cooking pot, if you will, is all I use. I have a pair of tongs. I have a spoon. Um, I use paper plates for the lid if I need to cover the pot. But now, if you're not familiar with Ginger Walkabout, 50 people, 52 people. Wow, welcome everybody. If you're not familiar with Ginger Walkabout, check out her channel. She's purged her van now a few times, and the last purge I heard, she dismissed 3 different size skillets. She's got the same floor plan I do. I have no idea where she put 3 skillets. That's just, it's kind of funny. But she will tell you, as will I. If you're new to the RVing, my recommendation is to buy as you go. Don't load up with hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. Don't move in to the sense of just moving all this stuff in, because what you're going to find is you don't need most of it, and it's going to just be kind of frustrating for you. So buy as you go. Put some basics in there, but I don't use dishware either. I use paper plates, paper bowls, paper cups, China, and I do not use plastic ware. I use compostable, disposable flatware that's really expensive, but I don't like the feel in my mouth, in my hand, or the squeak, or the environmental issues on disposable plastic, forks and knives. Good question. Cynthia, let me know what your plans are with cookware. I would love to know that. So here's Anthony. I was leaning toward the Travado, but went with the Rebel. I think it fits my travel style remote better. I was motorcycle camping, so any van will be like a mansion. No kidding. Holy cow. Saw the video with Tab. Yeah, it was great. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that. Yeah, we met a gal, um, Sylvia, in Wallace, Idaho. She was our neighbor when we had the channel camp out. This gal, I was going to guess, is probably in her early 60s, late 50s, maybe, early retired. And she literally rides her trike, as she calls it. I think her YouTube channel is Tricycles Travel, something like that. She literally pedals across the world in this bike. So and that's all she has. She has a backpack and packs on her bike and trike. And so I totally get it, man. You are going to be in a palatial estate compared to a motorcycle. Congratulations on your Revel. Silver is the new black. Yeah, that's interesting. I love silver. My favorite color. One of my favorite colors. My favorite metal, I should put it that way. So Bruce, good morning. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. 54 folks. I really appreciate that. Type your questions in. So Bruce wants to know, is the Verizon prepaid unlimited plan, now discontinued, still working for you? Fortunately, yes. My jetpack actually is right here. I'm running off cellular on my iPad here, which is on AT&T's network. But yeah, I really wish Verizon and AT&T, for that matter, would bring back these unlimited plans. I looked recently and I didn't see any available. The data plans are really skimpy on data, and they're skimpy on price too, but then you run over and then it gets to be really expensive. So what mine's working for me great. It's a prepaid. You have to buy the hardware up front, and then it's $70 a month for unlimited. I'm getting throttled down. I'm finding around 400 gigabytes, um, which is really pretty good. Um, I did discontinue my AT&T at a secondary hotspot, just in case Verizon throttled me down. It was 100 gigabytes through AT&T for $100 a month. And what I found is AT&T connectivity was not nearly as robust as Verizon, so I've discontinued that altogether. Um, yeah, it's still kind of the number one problem I have is Wi-Fi connectivity and the quality of the throughput. And now in current conditions, running into a library for a couple 3 hours, um, the coffee shops. I mean, there's the availability is still there, but the amount of time I can spend in those places is now significantly limited. So it continues to be a challenge. And Bruce, if you have any suggestions on data plans, let us know, because that's just so important for us full timers, or even part timers. Gosh, just anybody roaming around. It's a good question. Laura, good morning from Florida. I'm a pest. No, you're not. Any news on the MC Dual Traveler? Thanks. We're going to be having a meeting with them soon. Not this week coming, but the following. I'll get an update. We haven't done a video with them since our big July bash customer event at the end of July. So they are so busy just trying to get vans out, like the Dual Traveler, working on their website. So I'll hopefully have some more insight later this month for you. Not a pest. Appreciate that. Yeah, Anthony says his Rebel verbal estimate is in January. So yeah, about 6 months out, right? Um, so Kathy, good morning. Kathy says my 2017 G will be getting your upgrade of hot water added to the rear shower. Ooh, that's exciting. How do you plan to use that? I've never actually used that shower once when I made a video, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever used it. I'm glad it's there. I can hose off the cat. No, that would be a bad idea. I can hose off the spouse if it gets hot. Hose off the bike. Would be about the only time. Showering outdoors. I don't know. I'm more of an urban camper, so I'm not sure the public would like that. But I'm curious why you're getting that upgrade. Let us know, Kathy, please. Glamper Jan, love the van. Did not get the lithium Li3 as Coachman calls it, right? It was a $7,000 option. I have a ton of power stations and 200 watt on the roof. Um, she has the bench bed in the back, tons of room for me. Ford Transit drives great. Oh, I'm glad to know you love the Ford Transit. Yeah, I would just love to see Ford give the Sprinter a run for the money, and the ProMaster for that matter. Um, I personally would prefer a wider rig than a taller rig. I don't need the height. I'm not sure you gain a lot in storage. Glampergen, correct me if I'm wrong there. But I'd be curious to see what the cabinet height is so you get more stuff in. But I prefer a little more width. But congratulations, that is really awesome. I'm really excited for it. Did you get the white cabinetry? Um, some of the coachmen had white cabinetry, which I think is really awesome. 58 people. You folks are just making my day. This is so great. Um, Ismail, is that how you say that? I hope I got that right. Ismail, good morning. It says, hi, Scott. Hello, sir. I assume it's a sir. Sorry. Um, does the Travato have a spare tire? No. I am driving around on 4 tires and a glue can in case I have a blowout, and roadside assistance. So yeah, no Travato on the Winnebago Travato because all of the tanks and the Volta lithium ion system is underneath the floor and the chassis between the axles. So no room for a spare. Now, Embassy RV, some of you may know, is my paid partner. Love those guys. Terry and the team, they actually have all their tanks and what have you on the inside. Might have some of the air conditioning components on the outside, but the spare tire is there, installed by the factory. So, um, is it a concern for me? You might ask. When I see somebody on the side of the road with a flat tire, it comes to mind. But that was one reason why I upgraded my tires from the OEM tires, which come out of South Korea. I'm assuming good tires, but I am way more confident with my BF Goodrich K02s. Just such a better tire. I feel better about it anyway. Um, James Stoney grew up there in the 60s, 70s. Is that Spokane? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure what you mean there. But welcome. Thanks for joining. Glamperjan, thanks for the info on the combi. You bet. Anthony, thumb up. Yeah. Hey, we got 60 folks online. If you can give us we should have 60 thumbs up. 40 more of you are being stingy on your thumbs up. Give me a thumb up. That would be super awesome. Type your questions in. Marcy, thank you for my geography lesson. Burlington's on the east side of the state. Yes, you're right. It's right next to Illinois. I had no idea. And you're on the northwest side. You did say that, which is by Sioux City. And actually, here's a hot tip. Hot tip. I stayed in Sioux City at the Hard Rock Casino parking lot overnight, and it was absolutely lovely. The casino was open for business as usual. Mostly, they did take your temperature. You did have to wear a mask, I think, when you were inside, unless you were gambling or drinking, something like that. But a lovely place. So the tip is, if you're rolling through northwestern Iowa, there was a couple of us RVers there, I noticed. Really safe, really quiet, really lovely place. The Hard Rock Casino parking lot in. I always go in and ask just to make sure, and just alert security. It just helps me sleep better that they know I'm there. Um, Hard Rock, Sioux City, Iowa. I love Iowa. It's really a state that you just don't expect. Des Moines is beautiful. Hey, you Iowans. So when you go through Des Moines, Iowa, and I was headed west, you come around a big corner on the freeway there, and there's a ginormous building with gold domes. It looks like a giant church. I think it's the state capitol. I tried to figure out how to get there without taking up tons of time. I couldn't figure it out. I got back on the freeway, but if you know what that building is, I'd love to know. So, Gary Powers, how did you decide? Hi, Gary. Thanks for the question. Appreciate that. Gary says, how did you decide to make the transition from a normal life to the life of a nomad? Uh, well, there's your thing right there. Alan, DFW, Texas. Because I was wanting to go explore. I fell in love with Texas. I had no clue. I'd been to the corporate thing at Dallas, maybe a time or two. Never been to Fort Worth. Been to Austin a few times through corporate life, but never just sitting around hanging out for a week. And I was tired of having a big paycheck from a job at that time I really didn't like to pay for the big storage unit, which was also known as the house, filled with stuff that didn't mean a thing to me. And in the house, it had probably, I don't know, 12, 13 rooms. We lived in four of them. And I just got tired of the drill of, just a routine that was just boring. I have a routine now, but it's very different. And it really um, it's a different routine it's a travel routine, I guess, and a van life routine, but it's not commuting to the same place every day, and doing something on the weekends, and maybe taking a fun trip every month for a weekend someplace, flying and hoteling. I just lost interest in it, to be honest with you. I just want something vastly different. My partner and I worked out a way we could make that happen. So I'm on the road full time. I have no intention to quitting anything, what I'm currently doing. And there's so many places to go. There's so many things to see and do. There's so many cool people to meet. My frustration is, how can I do it all? And I've learned to kind of slow down and savor the surprise. And I can't wait to get back to Texas. So I could float around Texas for a whole year, probably never get tired of it. I'll probably go north to get away from the heat. But boy, it's been a hot summer this year, right? Um, so that was it. I just decided, and again, just tired of stuff. So that was a huge mind shift. I want to explore. Um, Worked out with my employer, reinvented my job, reinvented my life. Kyle's in charge of our Airbnb properties in Florida. He joins me about once a month, and off I went, and haven't looked back. And it's just been an amazing journey. Cynthia, love the rap. Thank you. Hello from Boston. I have not been to the Northeast or the East Coast yet. I'm really excited to get there. I'm hoping in the spring or summer is kind of the goal. Um, Geo1 says, hello, 59 people. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Really appreciate that. Hopefully, you're not completely shirking your household duties or taking care of the kids, but really appreciate you being here. That just makes my day. Olympia Tree Care, hello from Washington. Hey, I'm going to be in Seattle area at the second half or the bottom half of September. So we're going to do a couple of channel roundups, as I call them. And we're also doing a Volta rally. So now, as the Volta brand ambassador, I'm traveling around training dealers, and we're holding Volta rallies for customers with Volta rigs, or that want a Volta rig equipped Travado, or that are curious about lithium, curious about RVing, curious about the Class B. So that is going to be held up in Marysville, which is northern Greater Seattle, on Thursday, the 24th of September. Go to my website, gosmalllivelarge.com. You'll see the events posted there. It would be an honor to meet you in person. Olympia Tree Care. And if we need some tree care, we know where to go, right? Anthony says minimalism, adjusted well. My wardrobe fits in 2 dresser drawers. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? It apparently I have a shoe problem though. We had a little shoe comparison count at the channel campout, and I actually have like 8 pair of shoes, which is pretty embarrassing. Um, um, 30 and a wake up, Kevin. If you haven't checked out his channel, check him out. He showed up by surprise, which was a super treat. He's got 2 pair of shoes, literally a black pair of tennis shoes and a pair of flip flops. I need my cowboy boots. I got 2 of those. So yeah, minimalism, totally into it, and just totally with you on the minimalism. Um, so Glamper Jan says, talking about her Coachman Beyond, um, miss outside bays on Beyond, miss my garage for tools and levelers. You must have downsized from a Class C, I'm guessing, or a B plus, that would have those kinds of storage units. I've never had them. My tool bag, it fits in like a lunch pail. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Deb talks about the plasticware. Yeah, the squeaky plastic stuff. Oh my gosh, it's just like nails on a chalkboard to me, and just totally annoys me to just throw something out that's going to be. Mine are made from plant starch or something like that. I think they're kind of expensive. Get them off Amazon. I think they're on my website. If my Amazon store there, my gear store. So Armando says, check out Mobile Internet Resource Center. They have a YouTube channel and website. Great info on mobile internet plans, hardware. I have heard of them. I haven't looked at them in a while. Is this the one that charges a subscription to learn about the information? I can't remember. There's a couple of them out there that do that. But great point. Thank you, Armando, for bringing that to everybody's attention. 56 people. This is amazing. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Um, so Olympia Tree Care says, are there any companies like Owl Vans for the Travado who make cargo attachments for the rear doors, ones that mount to the door or hinges? Thanks. I'm going to say there probably is. It might even be Owl. Owl had the equipment that I think was on the back of the Rebel that we had a tour with Tab here just recently. I think that was Owl hardware that was installed, and I did notice it went on somehow on the hinges of the door. It seemed to me, the ladder in particular, and phew, I think the big box on his was I don't think it was Owl, but the ladder was. I don't know. We need to do some research there. So let's put that on the to-do list. Um, I maybe if you have a Rebel, I personally would not be putting anything else on the outside of my van. I might put some lights, a light bar on, but I think I'm done with putting anything additional on the outside, um, just because I don't want the the theft potential, number one, and it's just storage space, and I don't have anything else I would store in there that I've figured out at this point. So, but great point. Thank you, Olympia Tree Care. Um, this guy is kind of being weird. Let's get rid of him. Um, let's see. Anthony. So Anthony asks a great question. Now I kind of RV differently than some. A lot of folks run at high speed to the mountains and camp out. I'm more of an urban guy, urban cowboy, I guess. Anthony asks, do I find any harassment stealth camping in urban areas? A short answer is no. I've only been thrown out of a Walmart parking lot once. It was not a 24-hour parking lot. That's probably what the problem was. It was outside of Nashville. But I street camp pretty regular. I harvest host all the time. If I'm going to stay someplace for a period of time, 3 or 4 days, I probably will see if I can find a campground, whether it's a municipal, county, state. National parks are usually way out away from urban areas, but sometimes state parks. Texas has an awesome state park. Oh dear, the name will come to me. I hope it's right outside of Dallas. Fantastic um, state park. But urban camping, yeah, no harassments, but you have to be really careful. I would not park in front of somebody's house. I would be in a light industrial area. Um, I would be in um, a light industrial area. I would be. It's probably easier to say where not to park, which is check the parking signs for sure. But I stay in a downtown environments on a regular basis. Small downtowns. It's not like downtown Chicago, but urban camping. Speaking of downtown Chicago, you can actually use a couple of apps. Either Park Whiz is one, or Spot Hero is another, and you can locate overnight paid parking places. So I've stayed in downtown Chicago for $25, 2 blocks from the Apple Store on Michigan Avenue and the Chicago River. Um, that's definitely urban camping for sure. But harassment, no, you just need to be careful. I've done a number of videos on this. I did one recently. You just need to choose where to park, how to park, check the parking signs, and if there's anything unsettling about it, just move. So no, never been harassed. This guy's really being a turkey. Let's see. I'm planning to use the rear outside shower to avoid filling the gray tank. It's funny you say that, Kathy. Thank you for explaining that a little bit deeper. I fill my black tank, as it's called, the toilet waste way faster than the gray. I'm not showering in my rig. Ironically, I actually shower in my rig at RV parks mostly, just to use the system to keep things clean. But yeah, my tank capacity, I run out on black capacity before gray in most cases. I'm not washing dishes, so that might play a role. So you're pretty gutsy to be showering outside, and my hat's off to you. I would not be doing that. But so here's something interesting. So, somebody should ask me a question about what current conditions are like traveling around. I'll give you a quick heads up on coming into Washington State, which apparently is only in like a phase 2 opening. Not sure what that means from this state's point of view, but all the states I've been through has been pretty almost back to normal, I would say, except for Washington State. Apparently, the gyms have just opened up just a few weeks ago. You cannot take a shower in a Planet Fitness. You cannot go tanning in a Planet Fitness in Washington State. I use Planet Fitness a lot for showering, which means I'm going to have to find campgrounds and/or empty my tanks more often while we're traveling in Washington State. Which, as soon as I get my business done on the West Coast, Seattle area, I'm bugging out of Washington. It just totally annoys me how you can come up with. Well, we'll leave it at that. Let's see. Glamperjan says no white cabinets. Wish it did. Light maple. Great to know. Um, so Nicole, welcome. Good morning. Thank you. 66 people. This is great. 35 thumbs up. So somebody learned something. Thank you. If you get something out of this, sure would appreciate a thumb up. We should have 67 likes. So thank you for joining us. Go ahead and type your questions in. We got some good ones coming up. So let's see if I can get through these fast. We've been going for 43 minutes. So we'll go to about another 20 minutes or so. Let's see. I just lost track where I was. So Nicole, looking to purchase a Travato GL. Yeah, I'm totally with you, Nicole, on all your points there. The floor plan, the Volta Lithium, the layout, floor plan to Dodge. Having a little trouble to Dodge again. I'm kind of getting disappointed on my Ram. What I thought was going to be the problem was Winnebago build out, and it's really been the Ram that's been a problem. So it's going back into the shop this week for the tire pressure monitoring system. Is acting up, and that makes me uncomfortable. And I'm also getting the tail light replaced. Somehow it has water in it, and I have not backed into anything. There's no external damage that I can see. So having the tail light replaced. Glamperjan, lots of cabinets, holders for maps and bear spray. I actually bought my first bear spray in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho at the Costco. It was 2 cans made in Butte, Montana for 35 bucks. Bear spray, people spray. I don't know. We'll see. Kathy said, been in Florida too long. Yeah, it's just nice to get. I love Florida, but the endless summer is just that. And it's kind of fun to get different scenery. Love palm trees. Marcy, though, it is a state capital in Des Moines. Thank you. It's spectacular. Next time I roll through Des Moines, I've got to stay there for a few days. Just a charming town. I street camped there. Gosh, it's been a few months ago, but just a great town. I just love small Midwest, really any small town, small being in quotes, not giant cities. I'm just so over giant cities these days. Yeah, Anthony on the stuff, less is more. Olympia. Oh, thank you, Olympia Tree Care. Look at that. Wow. I might take you up on that. Um, nice spot to stay. So here's one from Nicole. Question: Have you noticed a difference in gas mileage since the new tires? No. Um, Immaterial. I haven't noticed. There's road noise. I will tell you that. So if you want a very quiet van driving experience, do not get all-terrain tires. But I wanted everything that they do offer, and the noise is not a problem to me. It's just background kind of white noise. I just turn the music up louder, so it's not a problem for me. It makes me know that they're doing their job. Anthony asked, "Well, Volta, can you retrofit a Volta?" No. Licks and RVs talked about this in a number of their videos. I'm assuming it's probably pretty true, which is to do the build up they do. It's probably go way more expensive than just find a already Volt equipped Travato, or maybe do something another van that they have their lithium ion system installed in. Vancouver Island, Canada. Oh my gosh, I so wish I could get to Canada. I am so bummed out. Love Vancouver. Used to live in Seattle for a long time until we moved to Chicago, and we used to go to Canada, Vancouver, when it was fun. You could cross the border really easily. It was like back in the '90s, right? And it's just such a great town. It's just such a great town. Kevin, yeah, Gary Powers, thank you. Kevin, 30 and a wake up. He is great. Oh, where are your favorite RV guys? He's just the coolest dude. Are you ready for this? I was at the Butte KOA, and what I like to do typically when I'm overnighting someplace, I roll someplace different in the daytime to work and to roam around and go explore. I had left my KOA campsite that morning. I came back and there he was. I couldn't believe it. It was a Travato. I didn't know it was his in particular. And then he came around the corner and I about fell out of my flip flops. Maybe I was wearing my cowboy boots that day. I can't remember. And I couldn't believe it. It was so much fun. So he was going to sneak up on my channel camp out in Wallace, and I kind of busted him out, I guess. But we spent almost a week together. He is the coolest dude. He's got a great channel. He is loving his Travato. He's just the real deal. I am just thrilled to call him my van life friend. Just a cool dude. Yeah, Gary, you're kind of right. So on Saturday, we did it. So Gary says, imagine all of us in a single room listening to you sharing your experiences. That's kind of what we did. We did a channel camp out. So not only was Kevin of 30 and a wake up there adding tremendous amounts of value around boondocking because he does that a lot. I don't do it very much. Done it a few times. Want to do more. But we had probably had 8 or 9 folks sitting around in a table, socially distanced, of course, in our deals, and just going back and forth, Q&A. I was talking about secrets of route planning. He was giving it was so much fun. I just love doing those live events. Florence, Kentucky. Wow. Hey, William, welcome. 71 people. Look at this is great. So tell me where about in Kentucky is Florence? I am in love with Kentucky. Paducah, Kentucky, such a great town. Hopkinsville, that's where Casey Jones Distillery is at. Um, I gotta spend more time in Kentucky. Gary asked a good question. Is there anything special you do for your own personal security? I practice my jujitsu. I throw Luke at a bad guy or girl. I don't know. I don't really do anything special other than just be aware. I think that's just being cognizant of your surroundings, cognizant of the people. If it's sketchy in any way, I just keep moving. I just recently bought some bear spray. I probably won't be afraid to use it if things get bad with some folks. But I just stay in small towns. That's my favorite, and medium-sized towns, avoiding the big cities. I'm just over big cities these days. Um, and I make friends. So think about this: as RVers, wherever we land, we are the outsider. So it's up to us, in my opinion, to make friends first. So when I roll into a restaurant, when I roll into a bar, when I roll into the visitors bureau, I am outgoing, effervescent, the nice guy, and I am actively making friends. And I'm getting tips from them on where to go, where not to go, what to be aware of. Can I park overnight? So I'm just out to make friends, quite frankly. And I'm always the outsider. And when I roll into a bar, for example, and I'm looking for a burger and a beer, everybody turns and looks at me. Clearly, I'm the outsider. And so I'm like, hey, you guys take in stray dogs like me? Everybody gets a little chuckle. And usually I'm giving a rig tour within 30 minutes. So my personal security is just to be a nice guy, be aware, and keep moving. Yeah. So Glamberjan says she did downsize. Um, so you're liking the downside. So there's a lot of folks that have done that. There's other folks going the other way. Try the Class B, not going to work. I want to go up the size. So 24-foot Class C is what she had, and now is in a 21-ish foot van, I'm guessing. Glamberjan. So this lets us know how that experience has been. Brian, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Good day. What kind of PR? I'm not sure what you mean there. Help us out. Um, oh, he's talking about protection. So kind of the same question as Gary. Yeah, I don't have common sense is my self-defense. Flow Max. Hello, Scott. Love your comparison, Rebel versus GL. Any difference upgrades on the new 21 GL you know about? Um, I haven't been on Winnebago's site lately to compare, and there really is none to climb in because they're all been sold. So no, I don't know of any. You might. Um, there's been some pretty small iterations. I can't think specifically off the top of my head um, about them, but it's kind of hard to do these. Excuse me. What's new because there's just no rigs to climb through. Um, yeah, Anthony. So ParkWiz. So again, jot these down. So there's a couple of apps you guys want to have handy. iOverlander is one app. I use that a lot. Campendium is another. So iOverlander, Campendium, ParkWiz is a site that locates public parking that you pay for in advance. And the other is Spot Hero. Spot Hero. So those are largely, I'm guessing, in the larger urban environments, ParkWiz and Spot Hero. iOverlander has a lot of boondocking and it's kind of crowdsourced. As is Campendium, I'll say, is kind of crowdsourced. Kevin of 30 and a Wake Up talks about those. I think Campendium a lot. I use iOverlander quite a bit. Um, there's another suite of apps called Allstays. There's a variety of different type of apps by Allstays. So you'll want to have those in your toolkit um, for finding places to stay. Hi, William. Thanks for the question. Scott, what is the interior height of your van? I'm 6'4". I'm 5'10", and I've got about probably 4 inches of clearance. So we had a 6'5", 6'5" guy in my van, and his head was turned. He was kind of uncomfortable. So I'm thinking you're probably going to be wanting to look at a Sprinter or a transit-based van because with some shoes on, you're going to be banging your head on the air conditioner in my rig for sure. And it probably just won't be a real awesome experience for you. The Ram is the shortest in ceiling height, but it's the widest of the three chassis. So I would be sure and get inside of each one of those to validate that you are comfortable from a roof height. Look at the 78 people. Man, if we could do a Gary Vaynerchuk thing and everybody send a friend so we can get to 79 people, if we can get to 100 people by the top of the hour, that would be so awesome. 45 thumbs up. Thank you. If you gotten anything out of this, I sure would appreciate a thumb up. Let's show YouTube we really like this platform, YouTube Live. Speaking of, again, if you haven't been to my website lately, gosmalllivelarge.com. I've got some public events coming up. We do Zoom sessions live, and I kind of, in some ways, prefer those because it's two-way. We can see and talk back and forth. This is very one-directional. You're listening to me, and I'm reading stuff. It feels like a radio show in a lot of ways. I love it, though. But and if you trust me with your email address, become a member on my site. There's no cost. I send out 1 or 2 emails a month. I'm trying to get better at that. Just notifying you of events and some different things that you wouldn't see otherwise. So this is a good question. So Jack Oakley, hi. Thanks. Good day, sir. Thank you for attending. Have you had any negative experience with Harvest Host? Greetings from Allentown, Pennsylvania. I can't wait to get to Pennsylvania. I love Pittsburgh. I love the Falling Water area. Allentown, I can't quite picture where that is. Philadelphia, we'll probably cruise through there. I love Philly back in the old corporate days, but just kind of avoiding the big cities these days. Negative experience with Harvest Host. Short answer is yes. I had one time, two times when somebody did not kind of monitor their generator, and so they ran their generator all night long. It was so annoying. And in one case, the generator was a portable Honda generator in the back of this guy's pickup where he towed his towable around, and so it kind of resonated like this. It was super annoying. So, but that's really it. I'm a Volta guy, lithium ion, so I am in complete silence running all my stuff, 30 amps. So I'm a great neighbor at Harvest Host. Some other people just aren't sometimes good neighbors, you know. So if you have a generator, please, when you turn your lights out at 10 p.m., turn your generator off. Most people are pretty good about that. Um, but that's the only negative thing. I love Harvest Host. Boy, if you are an RVer and you're not a Harvest Host member, spend the money, invest the money. You can go to my website again. Go small, live large. I think it's under the More tab. Essential RV experiences, something like that. And by signing up there, I get a few bucks, so thank you. But you get 15% off. And if you want to urban camp in or if you want to camp in urban areas, get the golf package. I spent a lot of time in really amazing golf course parking lots, which are amazing because everybody packs up and goes home by 7 p.m. So it's completely dark and silent. Have you ever been to a bad golf course in a bad neighborhood? They're usually in really good neighborhoods and up and out early. So get the full enchilada would be my suggestion. Love Harvest Host. We've done a lot of videos on those. One just recently, so check that out. Mark's going Fort Trent's the only way to go. Good to know. Good day, Scott. Safe holiday. Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Uh, Javier, hey. Anthony, hey. Jay Dorman, hey. So Javier asked a good question. Joined late. How long does a black tank last? Answers kind of depends. If you're doing your business mostly elsewhere, you can go a long time. I do my business in mine most all the time, unless it's convenient to do it somewhere else. Mine lasts probably about a week, 5 to 7 days. Um, well, a single person, basically, solo person. So it really depends. If you've got two people using it full time, my guess is probably 3 days. Mine and my GL, it's 11 gallons or 12. Can't remember which is which, gray and black. But you could definitely extend it by using facilities elsewhere. Black tank hot tip. I think we've talked about this in other videos, but do not do what I did, which is, in fact, St. Augustine, Florida, is where I was going. Like, how little water can I use when I'm using the facilities for number two? And I learned the hard way that water is essential to keeping all the contents of your waste tank in a slurry, so that it empties completely. I actually had to have our friends at Winnebago Motorhomes, where I bought my rig in Rockford, Illinois, kind of helped me out with that gross task of cleaning out the black tank because I didn't use enough water and it had really piled up literally in there. So you need to use plenty of water to make sure your black tank empties thoroughly. Um, and in fact, when I'm getting ready to empty my black tank, I fill it so it says full, and you start to learn how it sounds when it's actually full. So fill it with fresh water so it's a full evacuation. I would not empty a 1/3 tank or even a half. I would make it full with fresh water before I empty, just so it again evacuates entirely as much as possible. Wow, we've been at this an hour, so we're going to give this 10 more minutes, guys. We need 12 people to get to 100. Come on, folks, call a friend, have them sign up. I'd love to see. Oh, we just dropped back to 79. Um, Keep those questions coming. Let's see. Um, yeah, John's got a great question. So, after mechanical issues with Travato, are you still a fan of Dodge Ram ProMaster? I am. I've been disappointed. I'll be honest with you. The thing I expected was not the Ram to be the problem. I figured it was going to be something on the Winnebago build out, and that has not been the case. It's going back into the shop to get the tire pressure monitoring system replaced. I don't know. We've done that once in Florida, just, geez, 5 months ago. So I don't know what the deal is. Um, so annoying. Having the light replaced, the backlight. I might have to do the brakes. I got 55,000 miles on the original brakes now, so I probably have to put new brakes on, brake pads. But yeah, I'm still a fan. I'm just disappointed. I like the width. I like the way it looks. I like the simplicity of it. So yeah. Jake Garcia from Seattle, now in DFW. Wow, did you like the change? Um, he's planning on buying a Class B in 2 years. So in 18 months, you have to place your order. So you actually have your rig in 2 years. Hopefully, it'll be a much more available. We'll be doing definitely some channel meetups in the Dallas Fort Worth area when I get there, in probably early December, November. So watch for that. I just love Texas. I gotta spend more time in Texas. John Yang, thanks for the question. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. Hey, we need 19 more folks to join so we get to 100. Call your mom, call your neighbor, call your kids. Everybody log on. I need a screenshot at 100 people. Our last month's meetup, we had 103 was the excuse me was the maximum. But I really appreciate each and every one of you being out here today. So thank you. So John's got a great question. Does Dodge ProMaster do well on hills? I've had no problem. I've taken this rig on some crazy, crazy hilly roads, and it's done fine. Now, fellow van lifers Trent and Allie, they had a good point once. They were in some really steep terrain, and because the Ram ProMaster is front wheel drive, they experience on a wet road that their van like this, you're kind of like this. So it was spinning. The wheels were spinning, trying to climb the wet incline. I have not experienced that myself, but I just downshift and just keeps running. It's pretty solid. So have had no issues. Northern Kentucky, about 20 miles south of Cincinnati. So we were just through your area, William, and I'm not sure what that small town is that's opposite side of the river from Cincinnati. There's a harvest hose site there, a brewery, Gold Wooden Cask, I think it's called. Awesome harvest hose site, amazing beer, and there's this charming little town right in that area. I'm going to come back there and spend some time. Fell in love with that area. You are lucky to live there. Shirley, welcome from Chillicothe, Iowa. Never heard of that town before. I'm not sure I'm saying it right. That's funny. How do you keep this cat from scratching the furniture? Great question. Pick the right cat. Luke has never scratched this furniture at all ever. I have a scratch box under, so if he needs to kind of get his claws onto something, he uses that. But he's never once actually tried to or even been interested in clawing the furniture. And this furniture is it's fake leather. It's ultra leather as it's called, but it's like really high quality vinyl, so it probably doesn't feel nappy to him. He's goes into my mom and dad's place, and they've got traditional furniture that's pretty nappy. Couch services, so he kind of sinks his claws into that, but he's never scratched this once. So I have a cat video I should be posting today, so you'll want to watch that because I have another tip there. Um, yeah, I'm just super lucky. He's a great cat. I should go check on him. We got this neighborhood cat roaming around that they have had words back and forth, but I think he would sound off. Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Common sense is my defense. John Yang, Volta Pier 3 versus Embassy Antrax. Here we learn, we share. You decide. I'm going Volta, just because it's best in class. It's an integrated solution, not I call it Frankenstein's kind of tongue in cheek. But when you're assembling different components from different manufacturers to get them all work well together, may not result in the best experience. Volta is just hands down best in class in the industry, and um, so again, use case, floor plan, and that's what it boils down to me. Tony Adventures, hey Scott. Yes, Harvest Host rules. Thank you, Anthony, for joining Harvest Host. Um, so this is a question I get a lot. Gary Powers, tough question. As an ambassador of Embassy RV, why are you not in an Embassy RV? So I'm not actually an ambassador for Embassy RV. We just have a great partnership. I expose their amazing rigs to the audience. I talk about them a lot. I really like their innovative design. So why not? Am I in one? Kind of boils down to floor plan and probably Volta. Their floor plan is awesome for most people. I specifically wanted a full-time bed that just lays down in a second, like mine does. and a full bath. Those are two big reasons floor plan. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Now I am officially a Volta brand ambassador, and we will be doing lots of crowing about that coming up very shortly. But my suggestion is just really do some research. How do you plan to use, maybe live in your van? Terry does some amazing work. I wish some of the other RV manufacturers adopt some of the things they do. But he's just a class act, really amazing rigs. But for me, it's floor plan and Volta. Coming to northern Wyoming, goodness. I don't know. Probably a swing through next year. Excuse me, I'm talking too much. Sorry guys, I had to listen to that. I had no mute button. I don't know how to turn the mute on. Sorry about that. That comes through really awesome on your speakers. Yeah, loving the bathroom. All right, so we'll go about another 5 minutes here. Don't think we're gonna get 103 today. Gosh darn it, but next time. But I appreciate each of you being in there. So Jack asked a question, toilet question. Do you ever stream water from a container, not your fresh water, to flush the toilet to save your fresh water? Oh my god. Sorry guys. A little better. Sorry. Funny you asked that question, Jack. That actually happened to me just last week. I had an empty tank of water, and I had to use. I got some of it down, but had to use my fresh water from my backup internal tank, my 4 gallon onboard external to flush. So not a best practice. I did it once. I don't want to do that again. So I didn't follow my own 50% rule on the fresh water, which is to keep it filled. Wouldn't recommend that. Is that Wilk? Do you see? It says, do you have adaptive cruise control? No. And funnily, I don't use cruise control. I mean, it has cruise control, this van, but I don't use cruise control. I just use my foot. Helps keep me awake, maybe. I don't know. Looks like we're running out of questions, so this is perfect timing. Nicole, yes. Use a bag of ice to clean the tank. I do. I'm doing about, I just did it a few weeks ago. Works like magic. And yep, it was a great tip. Thank you, the KOA team. How often do you change the oil in your ProMaster? Whatever it recommends. So currently, it's getting changed out next week. I'm at just over 54,000 miles, and the oil change, I'm looking at the sticker, is 53,800 miles. So I'm right on point for getting that changed. So whatever the recommendations are. And let's see, just a couple more, then we'll call it a wrap. Let's see, 3 months, Gary, from getting your GL. Wow, I am really happy for you. That is so amazing. I bet you can hardly wait. That's going to be the longest 90 days of your life, probably. And you're welcome on the videos. What other things can we help you with your a lot of new RVers, which is amazing. So what can people like me that have YouTube channels about RVing, if you can send me a list and email, that would be amazing, or comment on YouTube. That would be amazing. I'm really trying to put out content that would be valuable to you as a new RVer or somebody new to the Class B RV. So David wants to know, cool that you have your cat with you. Where do you keep the litter? I keep the litter in the litter box, and you'll have to watch the video today because I'm going to post that video specifically. But the litter box stays under the bed at night or in the bathroom during the day, with the door mostly closed, because I don't want to look at the toilet nor the litter box. And when I'm traveling, it kind of keeps it from moving around. John Yang wants to know, Volta versus Road Trek EcoTrek lithium. I'm a Volta brand ambassador. That's recent, but I've been a Volta user from the beginning, and Volta, I think, is just best in class. We need to do some comparisons, so I don't know how to answer your question specifically. We will get there, because that's one of my missions, is to understand the competition better. I just know that I swear by my Volta system, and it's the reason I bought my rig. Jay Dorman said, any news on Dual Traveler? I'm meeting with Embassy in a couple weeks, so we'll get some updates from them. They've been super swamped trying to get product out the door. Nicole, thank you. Hard candy for you. And it's kind of early here. I'm still waking up. I'm on the West Coast, so it's just now 9 o'clock. Let me tell you, when you're getting up early for those 6 a.m. meetings, Pacific time, for 8 a.m. meetings in Chicago, it's like it takes a while to wake up. But thank you for that tip. Yeah, I should get a throat lozenge. That would help. Sorry you had to listen to those coughs. Mark, yeah, I just drive with my foot. It's funny. All the other vehicles, I just prefer to be in control, I guess. And I'll be honest, I try to get off the freeway, take the back roads, in which case cruise control is not as effective as being on the interstate. And I get sleepy if I'm not driving actively, and that includes throttle control. So Taylor's asking for give a little tour. I guess I can do that. That may be kind of a fun way to round this out. What do you guys think? So there's a couple more pieces here. So Kathy, thank you for joining. Appreciate that. 60 thumbs up. If you haven't given a thumb up, please give a thumb up. That would really make my day. We're not going to make 100 folks today. That's okay. We're going to do more of these. I do enjoy these. So Kathy says, ease of finding your and Ginger and Fit RV all convinced me to do, convinced me what to buy. Keep it up. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate that. Yeah. They helped change my life. The Russos, the Fit RV, Lixon RV, trying to think who else had vans at that time. Trent and Alley, Eamon and Beck, that whole van life crowd is really, the Russos in particular, they moved on to truck campers now, but they were super instrumental into getting me into a van. This was my first RV. Never had one before. But not only did I learn from that crowd, who else? They had RVs. Keep Your Daydream, they were hugely influential. And then I didn't want a trailer, but they had an amazing YouTube channel and a great YouTube business. And so not only did I learn from them how to RV, why I wanted to RV, but that I could actually create a business out of this. So it's on their shoulders that I launched my mission. And now hopefully many of you are launching your mission standing on my shoulders. And that's how this works. It's the peak to peak principle. Are you guys familiar with this? It's the peak to peak principle. So the peak, P-E-E-K, is you get when you're at the top of a peak, P-E-A-K. And from that peak, you get a different vantage point, a different peak at the next peak. And that's kind of me and my YouTube story. Is just the peak to peak principle. Yeah, Russo's, and they're the real deal. I've met them several times. They're just awesome. So let me wind this down. We're just over the hour, and thank you for hanging in there. So Laura's asking for, was it Laura? Who asked for the tour? Taylor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this camera around on my iPad here. I'm going to unmount it from my, there we go. I'm going to spin the camera around. I think I can do that. Yes. So let's do this really fast. So this might make you guys dizzy. So the first thing we're gonna do is go outside and make sure Luke's okay. Luke is okay. He's out here chilling by the tire. So there's Luke. Luke, say hello. Luke, say good morning to YouTube live. Luke. Yeah, okay, not. You've seen the outside before. This is what I call the great room. This is the most versatile space. This is exactly how I have it set up in most cases. Spin the driver's seat around. This table extension, as you guys know, comes out. So I can sit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people around this little table. And I've done it many times. I love this setup. I sit here a lot of times just to change up the view, right? So I put my laptop here. So that's the great room. This seat also spins around, but it's loaded full of cat stuff. So I just leave it like that. Great place to hang your hat. This is the galley, obviously. So I just love all the storage here above cabinet, right? This is one of the great things about the G floor plan is this humongous fridge and freezer, which is great. I mean, I'll give you an example here. That's a half a gallon of half and half, and you could fit 2 of those in there. That is really hard to do in other RVs of this size. The wardrobe, right? You guys know this. So I actually hang my clothes. I get a lot of fun poked at me by Ginger Walkabout because I'm actually putting clothes in here and not food pantry stuff. I don't, I just buy like 3 or 4, 5 days worth of food at a time, and canned stuff and cake mixes. Don't need that. So that kind of makes no sense to me. This is if you have a G floor plan, this is kind of a hot tip, is to get this little garbage can. I think I need to put this on my website. I got this from Walmart, but it absolutely fits in this kind of weird space that's useless for anything else. A lot of people hang their garbage from up here. I use this, so it's totally out of the way. This is the subwoofer. If you're wondering if it's blocking a heat vent, no, this is a subwoofer for the Jensen system. And then this just is a great place for the garbage can. Um, so this is the bed. Sorry for the spin around. This is the Murphy bed, clearly. So what I do is in the morning, I make my bed, which is just to fold the sheets, my bedding cover, and just put the bed up. And that is the Murphy bed. So this is the way it looks all the time, unless I'm actually in bed. So I've got my grill back here. That's the water storage I was talking about. My gym bag, my bag I have hanging from a hook. My computer bag. A new addition. I'm going to start learning the guitar. I'm really excited about that. That's the first look you guys get to see of that. And then where's the litter box? We talked about this, right? So my door is in here, and the litter box stays in here. Luke is really good about announcing he needs to use the facility, so I would leave the door open for him, and then he uses it. The other great thing about this is when he does his number two in here, I'm trying to work on his feeding program so that he's going number two in his litter box in the late or early morning rather. And once he does his business, what I do is I just vent using the bathroom vent. So it gets the smell out of the rig. So now he's going about 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and I'm usually up-ish, so I can vent that so it gets the stink out of here. It only stinks for 5 or 10 minutes, but nonetheless. So that's kind of the quick tour. So clearly got storage above. I have a utility chest back here. All my little action items I need to be working on. Got the NDQ air conditioner that I replaced. This is a hot tip. If I was buying a new RV, I would have my RV dealer replace the fan that comes standard. This fan I replaced. Sorry, guys. And what it does, what makes this different, they all exhaust out, but what this one does, it pulls air in as well. So I can be urban camping, and if it's cool enough, don't need to run the AC. I don't even do not need to open the windows. I can actually push cool air into the rig without using the AC. So if I was you, I would work with your dealer to replace this fan. I don't know why Winnebago cheaps out and doesn't just put this kind of in. This cost me $100 for the hardware. It was installed for free when they swapped out the air conditioner. So this is a Max Air fan. You guys can see that right there, right? And you can tell that it exhausts both ways because of this little button here. You see that? So I would highly encourage you to get that. I use this all the time. It acts like a ceiling fan in your house. It just moves the air around. So that's we'll kind of round out with that. So with that, I just really thank each of you. 68 of you have actually stayed tuned for that walking tour. Hopefully I didn't make you too dizzy. Oops, sorry. So again, just thank you. It's because of you that I'm able to achieve all this stuff that we're achieving now. We're just about to cross 10,000 subscribers. So my hat is off to you. I'm working with two amazing brands, Embassy RV and Volta, and we got a lot of channel events coming up. So if you're in the Spokane area, I have a channel roundup, as I call them, happening on Sunday the 13th, and we have a Volta rally at Roy Robinson RV in Marysville, which is Greater Seattle, on the 24th of September. But hit my website up. We got a lot more events planned. I just love them. We want to be cognizant of the current conditions, but even if it's just 2 or 3 of you, it's such a great time. And thank you again for Jane and Karen and Kevin. They camped out with me and it was Matt and Tracy. They camped out with me in Wallace, Idaho. We had such a great time. It was such a great time. And then the folks that came out for the channel rally. I'm gonna forget all their names. It was Steven and Erwin and Nancy. Oh golly, Sang came. Just a great time, and I would love to meet you, each and every one of you. To me, that's what it's about. I mean, this electronic stuff is cool, But let's get together. Let's really dive into what makes your RV experience just get launched correctly, and I can learn from you guys too. So thank you again for watching, and visit the website. We'll see you soon. Cheers. Have a good weekend.